make you laugh. I'm a clown. I amuse you. I'm here to fucking amuse you.
Ha ha! Woo! It's time!
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Just the tip with Sasson. I'm your host, Sally Sasson, in the building. Hope everyone's having a good day. I working on a guest for today. Gonna have a little back and forth, little dialogue. February 28th. This month's over. It's over, guys. We're about to be in March. We'll get into a little MLB talk, some NBA, some NFL talk, and just gonna shoot the shit. Me and my boy. For those of you who don't know, I got my boy coming on. See if I can share his page, man. I'm not really good with this technical stuff, but I'm gonna try to see if I can make it happen for you guys. Got my guy Eddie Mata. If you guys see this, please give me the thumbs up in the chat room, in the comment section. Eddie Mata, the Eddie Mata show coming on. I'm gonna have a little chop it up, and again, I hope you guys can see that. If you're in the comment section, just let me know, guys. Also, let's just get this show started. All right, guys, let's get the show started.
All things sports, local and around the world. Welcome to Just the Tip with Sasson.
Good evening. Good evening again. Sally Sasson in the building. Welcome to Just the Tip. Tonight I have a special guest, good friend of mine. If you ever see his channel, go to his channel, the Eddie Mata on YouTube. The Eddie Mata Show. He's had some great guests on there. I'll let him explain it when he comes on. I mean, the caliber of guests he's had on is incredible. For nobody, like he says, right? Who the hell's Eddie Mata? But without further ado, I'm gonna bring my man in the room, Eddie Mata.
Sully, I am struggling right now because I'm using my webcam. I don't know why my camera is not working.
Right.
So
it's all right. It looks good.
I don't like it. Okay.
That's okay. We're
Okay.
good. Yeah. What's going on, Eddie? So how's everything?
Everything's good.
You out in New York? You in Cali? What's the deal?
Yeah, I'm in New York. New York's my home now. As an actor, you don't have to live in LA anymore. You can live anywhere in the nation. And,
right.
Everything is self-tape, especially when COVID started.
Right. Yeah, I was saying that the other day to someone about like offices, the people don't need to rent big spaces out no more, right? Because they could, Zoom and all that stuff now from their houses.
Yeah, but I went to Saks Fifth Avenue to pick up my Canali jacket, my blazer, and they were asking me, they were saying, "Hey, are you back in the office?" Because a lot of people are going back to their offices, and they have to, they have to wear their suits now. So
right.
maybe it's working out well in the city, but who knows?
No more half suit with the boxes underneath.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. One of my interviews with the former NHL player Ron Duguay in the 70s, he was that pretty boy, and he always dresses up. So I'm wearing like shorts under here, and the suit is on top. So
funny.
Yeah.
So let everybody know about your channel, Eddie, real quick, and we'll do it again when we're doing the outro. What's the name of your channel?
Well, the name of my channel is called The Eddie Mata Show. And what I do is I interview well-established actors and athletes, and we find out about their journey, how they made it. As for an athlete, what was their high school schedule like? How much effort did they put in? Stories. I mean, the stories that you never heard of, they open up to me.
Right. And you've been you played the game. Obviously, you went away to school, so you have some history of the sports.
Yeah, if you're I played college baseball, and so did you. I had a scholarship, and I also went to the conservatory acting school, so I really know the languages of both. I know what they're going through, and most importantly, what you really have to know is, even though baseball is my number one sport that I played, but I always follow football. I love other sports. I even watch FIFA when the countries are going at it, right? It's fun.
Yeah.
And you really have to know their mentality, what these guys are going through is amazing. And it's like, wow. So I know both. I know, like I know the actor's life and I know the athlete's life.
Right. You mentioned FIFA, right? And I mentioned something on I think a couple weeks ago on the podcast about MLB, like when they do the World Baseball Classic, how crazy, all the environment is, how they should just maybe like in that All-Star weekend, maybe like make it like a 2-week span or something and just do the World Baseball Classic and just, go crazy with that instead of having like these All-Star, because MLB is probably like the only real All-Star game left, because NFL, NBA, all that's a joke. But, I was like the World Baseball Classic, it was such an exhibition, but it was so much fun. Watching the enthusiasm and.
Sully, did you ever go to the game? I was
No.
at the game in 2009, Dodger Stadium,
Right?
And it was Korea versus Japan, the championship game.
Right.
And that place was loud. I felt like I was watching a FIFA.
Now, was it sold out like the MLB? Like,
was
or
it sold out? Oh
right.
man, I don't remember. But
Right.
But you know what? LA really has a population of a lot of Asians.
Right.
So there was a lot of people there. You know what I mean? I don't remember if it was completely sold out, like, a playoff game or.
But it was still loud for not being.
It was loud, man.
Right.
It was like they were into it, Sully. I was like, holy shit.
You speaking of loud, and you went to 2 events this year, right? Didn't you go to 2 big events down in Tennessee?
Yeah, I went to the Tennessee Titans game versus the Bengals, but I have to say Cincinnati Bengals versus Tennessee Titans because it was at Tennessee.
Right.
And yeah, that stadium was rocking. Right. I was at the hotel and
they
I
were
was
shocked at the end, right? The Bengals won.
Put it this way, it was like a library.
Right.
Quiet. Couldn't say shit. And the Bengals fans have the right to talk shit and say, yeah, we won. They're celebrating, You can't, here's the thing I don't understand about fans. Listen, if you're on the road and you're rooting for your team and your team wins, you have all the right to talk shit. That's the bottom line, man. You just won with not a well-established quarterback. Not a well-established team. They're still young, these kids.
Yeah.
No, sure. When you guys go on the road, don't look for trouble. But you could definitely celebrate when your team wins.
Well, the problem is the home team fans don't take it as, I remember going to Yankee Stadium, being in the bleachers and Met fans there and people getting pelted with Met fans, the Mets fans getting pelted with stuff. And they hit me too. And I'm like, yo, guys, like what the, like I'm ready to go crazy about to start fights in the bleachers. So, yeah, I think, cheer, like you said, cheer for your team. Don't be obnoxious about it and, get in people's faces, but you cheer for your team, you won. Like you said, is your friend the Tennessee fan, your boy that brought you down?
No. So my friend, his name is John Anthony. What happens is that he's been in the sports business for the past 20 to 25 years. He's like actually a ticket broker for the rich. I mean, guys spend money in luxury suites. And John told me, he's like, listen, everything is on the house. All you're responsible for is get on the plane. That's it. And I'm like, man, hell yeah, I'm going.
Damn right.
It's the same thing with Alabama versus Auburn. That was another big event.
Yeah, that's what I know. I remember you went to that also.
Yeah, and Sully, to my New Yorkers, please experience a college football game in the South, especially the Southeast Conference. My God, it is. You think Yankee Stadium is loud?
Right.
Not even close.
Right. You know what? Rob Vass always invited me to. He's like, you got to come to an Alabama game. So I'm gonna definitely hold him up to that. Man.
And that was the first Iron Bowl that actually went to overtime in the history. So I was part of that history.
Well, that was a crazy game.
Yeah,
that was crazy. I remember watching. I was like, damn, Eddie's at this game. This is crazy.
And I was on the 50 gangster seats, like right above. Like it was the best seats in the house. You don't really want to sit when you go to a football game. You don't really want to sit all the way low because you can't really see the routes. You can't see what they're doing. Where we were sitting, we were just a little higher, like 20 rows up, and you could see everything.
Right. Nice. Oh, somebody made a comment here. Your boy Steve Alonzo here. They said, "Oh boy." What up, Steve? So yeah, man, those I was watching that game. I was like, man, Eddie's at this game's crazy. But I definitely want to go see a college football game. I mean, I stepped on the field like at UTEP and New Mexico State when we were over there. But you know, I definitely never been in an environment like that while the game was going on. But anyway, let's get right into it. Let's talk a little NBA. You follow the NBA? Or you watch the Lakers?
I follow, I follow
Right.
the Lakers. I follow a lot of teams, but that All-Star game was, well, I actually put, Sully, I'm not a degenerate gambler, but I go on FanDuel and I bet on live, like for $10. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I pick the spread, the points that.
And you're going crazy. You're like the guy in The Sopranos. This fucking guy's probably bet $30.
Yeah. So, I mean, Lakers are struggling, man. Right? Their record is garbage.
Yeah. Like who? I mean, like they always say, like who do you blame? It's kind of like LeBron built the team, right? You know, they got Westbrook there. Guys are not living up to what they're supposed to be.
Well, you know, speaking of like the Brooklyn Nets, right? I mean, Vegas, they were highly favored to go to the NBA Finals. You know, then the Brooklyn Nets losing 11 in a row or 10 in a row, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
You know, was Harden the cancer?
Right.
I don't know. You know, then you got this sensitive guy. What's his name? Simmons?
Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
that came over from Philly.
Yeah, I mean, this guy hasn't played for what, a year almost?
Right. And he's hurt now. He's not even ready to play.
Yeah,
and he got hurt practicing to come back to play.
So who got a better deal out of this? I don't know.
It's to be determined, I think, right? It's to be determined. I think I actually like what the Nets have done. I think Ben Simmons can help. I think it falls down to Kyrie and KD. It'll come down to them two scoring because Ben's not going to score, right? He's not going to probably be on the floor at the end because of the free throw situation and everything. But
what place are they in right now? So
I don't. They're down the bottom, but it doesn't matter if they get healthy. They could run off some. They could run off some games.
So how many teams make it? 8 to 10?
It's you got to do the play-in like 7, 10, 8, 9, and then the top 6 play. Top 6 get in 7, 10, 8, 9.
So do the Nets have a shot at least in the last seed?
Yeah, they have a shot for the 7, 10 seed. Yeah, through their 7, 10. They'll get in. They'll have a playing game or they'll move up. But again, they're gonna face Philly or Milwaukee or Boston early, and not have home court and see what happens. Does it affect Kyrie not be able to play on those home games or whatever it is, unless that's changed by then. I don't blame Harden. I think Harden, wanted to come here and signed up for it, but Kyrie not playing a lot and not being around, and I think that had a lot to do with him wanting to go. Plus the other, the owner at from Houston, the guy was over there. The GM went to Philly, so he had a lot of history with that guy. So that guy really wanted him over there. So I think it was a good deal for both, but it's to be determined. I think let's see how the playoffs run out. I mean, to me, Brooklyn has to win like within his next year or two, because if not, they're gonna have to break that up again. KD
Milwaukee, man, that guy's tough. The Greek guy, holy shit.
Right. Steve Alonso said he'll tell us exactly what it is. Harden is selfish.
Okay, well,
I mean, he might know.
Who passed the ball to Durant last year when he took that final shot, but they lost?
Yeah.
Did you remember that? Was it Harden to pass it to Durant?
Probably. I don't remember. I mean, I know it was when he stepped on the line.
Well, it was that final shot, and then Durant missed. Remember last year to advance to the NBA Finals,
right.
But according to Steve, he's saying, "Trust me, I know." Shit talker.
Yeah. So Steve might have some intel from the security jobs.
Steve, was he with like 3 females the night before? Is that what happened?
The strip clubs, the Harden strip clubs every night.
The private strip clubs in New York that we don't know about during COVID, right?
Of course. But he wasn't happy here. That was for sure. He wasn't happy because I kept hearing that he wasn't happy. So, I mean, I just, to me, back to the Lakers. LeBron kind of made his bed. We got to lay in it, or they got to get rid of him. Maybe they'll trade him. Especially he's talking about he'll play wherever his son is. So he's already telling you that he'll opt out if his son gets drafted. Because I don't even know if his son's that good. But if his son gets drafted, he'll opt out and go over there. Knicks, the Knicks are like the coach has one vision, the management has another vision, and the fans are just like, why do you torture us with this? We're all going crazy about the Knicks. It's like they're not on the same page.
Well, Julius Randle, he's a Kentucky guy. You know me. I love John Calipari and the Kentucky Wildcats. But for some reason, Julius Randle didn't step up in the playoffs last year, man. And that kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah, I was never a big Randle guy. I feel like those guys, like even OBJ, I could be wrong. But when they have those contract years and then they play the good Saint Samaritan, I'm the nice guy, I'm a great teammate, and then once they get their money, they go back to the jerk. I think we got that from Randle. Exactly what I said was going to happen. He got his money and he's like, all right, whatever. See you guys. You know what I mean? It's my show now. I got my money.
I was impressed with Rose. He stepped up in the playoffs. He was clutch last year.
Rose is good. Rose was MVP, man. That's one thing you're gonna get. Just his body. For there's some of those guys, man, that their body just doesn't cooperate with them, right?
Yeah. These guys are much faster, man. Sully, they're fast as hell, man.
Yeah. Like I think the skills were back in the days were probably better skills, but the athleticism and I always say like LeBron and a lot of those guys, to me they had to do like HGH because their physiques, man, since what I mean, like they're
ripped, man.
For years. Alonzo Mourning had the problem with his kidneys young. A lot of these guys they get into a lot of issues because of that. Definitely PED stuff that NBA probably does. I mean, maybe they're more strict than now because I remember hearing that a few years ago. And then LeBron came in skinny, and they were like, "Yeah, like I guess they implemented the drug testing, but they're not gonna bang him anyway. If he gets, if he comes up dirty, they're not banging LeBron James.
No way. They need that guy in the NBA. Are you kidding?
For sure. But I heard some today about maybe Miami Heat traded him to the Miami Heat, but I don't see the
Lakers back again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he went back to Cavs. Why not go back to Miami?
Well, here's the thing about LeBron. I mean, look, he definitely his biggest moment. Forget about all the championships. It was the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was huge. I mean, he came back. He said, "Look, I dissed you guys in the beginning. They were burning his jersey. Remember that when he left?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Came back, got him a championship, and you know what? He could do whatever he wants after that."
Yeah, I mean, they cheered him the day of the All-Star.
Right.
They were doing the introductions that night, the night before, and the day, they were cheering him. They were okay with him. He's good. He got them their ring, and he left again. So LA. I don't think LA Lakers fans are in that mode with him yet. They feel like the asterisk. It was the bubble championship. But I don't think you could blame LeBron. I think they should blame AD more because he's another guy that his body doesn't,
right.
The body lets him down, So,
another Kentucky guy, man. I saw him play, man.
Hector Baratel says LeBron was able to control Kyrie, that animal. Speaking of Kentucky guys, but like I said, I was saying this the other day. I feel like the Knicks draft the worst Kentucky guys. We never get a good Kentucky guy. Like you got Booker, AD. All these other guys going.
And you know what's crazy? So
and Rose is not Rose is a Memphis guy,
but he was Calipari's coach.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy, Sully? Fuck! I just had a thought. Oh my god. Booker. He was the sixth man off the bench. He didn't even play that much,
right?
For Kentucky,
I know.
He still got drafted in the first round.
I know.
Oh my!
Yeah, they put him out there, man. They definitely put them out there. Coach K's retiring. That'll be his last year. He's out of there.
Wow. Did you watch that college basketball game? I don't know if you watch it. I'm into college basketball because it's close to March now. Last day of February. But Coach K, he got sick that one game and they took him out. Like he just went to the locker room, man. It was against a team. I forgot.
Yeah,
but is he okay now?
I think he's battling something physically. Right. Yeah, battling. I think he was maybe cancerous or something. I heard something about that, but I know that North Carolina, they were like F you to him or whatever. The kids were going crazy on him. Yeah, so I know a couple of people were upset about that. But Hector Baratas says his favorite Kentucky. His favorite Kentucky
Kenny
player is Kenny
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
Slam dunk champion. Like we got many of those. The Knicks, we could win slam dunks. We don't win rings. But
Sully, do you think it's because of the owner of the Knicks? Like, I mean, that's the reason why these people don't want to come here.
supposedly that's the reason. Yeah, supposedly that's the reason that he's, because he's the owner of the Rangers. So I mean, what's the difference? The Rangers are pretty successful.
But the Rangers, they build, you know what I mean?
Right.
They build.
I think he's gonna get involved with the Knicks soon, like Thibodeau, and like I said, Thibodeau has a plan, and then he's not playing the young kids, and I think that the management has a different plan. Play the young kids. So I think that's kind of the disconnect. There's a disconnect there that's gonna have to be addressed. Either you're gonna have to play the young kids or you gotta go. Which I didn't like the Thibodeau hiring from the beginning because of that, because he's not going to play the young guys. He's a vet-driven coach.
Right.
I mean, you see yesterday. Yesterday it was the Sixers game, right? That Harden had the triple-double.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he loves Burks down the stretch. You're playing Sims. Sims is going, like he just doesn't play these guys. McBride is getting 35, 12, whatever, big numbers in the D League, G League. And then he's rotting on the bench. Like, come on, you tell him he can't give us half of that 35 in the NBA?
Sully, you got to give these kids a chance, man.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's not like back in the day.
Yeah,
it's not like back in the day. How many quarterbacks never touched the field? Right? Mm-hmm. So let's transition. Matter of fact, that's a good transition into the NFL, right? So speaking of NFL, Kyler Murray wants out of his deal. It's like 5.5 mil or something as a QB. He's on like a rookie deal. Feels he deserves more. Do you think they should play out their contracts, or should they get, like a guy like Joe Burrow, like guys in the Super Bowl, second year? Can he come? If anyone's complaining about money, it should be him, right?
Yeah, but Sully, in the NFL, what is it? After 3 years, that's when they become that's when you get the big contract? They have to do their 3 years?
I believe it's 4. It's like 3 to 5 years, but it's I believe it's 4.
Patrick,
because they have a I think there's like the third year, and then there's an option whether the club picks it up, or then like that, because that's what they went through with the guy the Jets got rid of. That went to
Hector said after 5 years in the NFL.
Yeah, it's 3 to 5. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like 3 to 5. I'm pretty sure, because there's like options. If the club got to pick up that 4th year, then you're with them for the 5th year, because that's what the Giants and they're going through Daniel Jones now. And the Jets just went through, the 4 year and the 5th year they can franchise you.
Okay, so they have to do their 4 years. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Let's say you're young like Murray, and you lock him up right now, but then he's looking out for his future, right? He's like, God forbid I get hurt, I might be done, right? But on the other hand, you as an owner could take advantage of that kid and say, you know what? All right, I'll lock you up. This is how much I'm giving you.
Like they do with MLB.
Exactly. With MLB. Right. Like Severino and Hicks, they locked them up for 7 years, just $10 million a year.
Right.
That's nothing. So,
right. Albies. You see Albies' contract compared to what those guys got?
What they give him?
It was it came out to 13 mil or 10. I forgot what it was. It's like crumbs. It's like crumbs to what the other guys.
But when you're 20 years old, you're like, I'll take that shit. Hell yeah.
They're giving you 15 years or 10 years. Right. Yeah, I'll take it.
I think out of the young kids, Fernando Tatis got the best one. Out of that young, lock him up. Trout got the best, but man, that's injury prone.
What do you think about Tatis, them moving him out of short?
I don't know why they're moving him out of short. I mean, the kid is you know the game of baseball. Shortstop is the most athletic position. Right. So they're probably thinking they don't want him to dive and all that. But then you're in the outfield, you're going to dive too. You're going to run into that wall, bro.
Yeah. I think they're kind of taking his swag away. Right?
Yeah, I like him at short. I love him.
He's too young. Short. But I mean, they're looking at the errors. They try to be nice about it. We don't want you to get hurt. But he's, they're looking at his errors and things like that. It's thrown, but don't take his swag away. Let him go, and then maybe move him to third or move him back to, then you move to outfield something. But I
Well,
would say
also,
give him a little more time. He's still young. So.
right. It also depends on the situation. I don't know who's San Diego shortstop right now. Who is the guy? I don't even know.
I don't even know who they had either.
Yeah,
After
that's what I mean. Is it a guy
Yeah.
that's like, holy shit, he's got a glove and he's the
Right.
man? You know what? Let's leave that. Let's put him at short and
Right.
then put Tatis in the outfield.
Right.
And we're good to go. I don't know.
Yeah, Hector said Machado's at third. Okay, who's at shortstop, Hector?
Yeah,
And that would be good with Machado at shortstop because Machado was your shortstop.
But then here's the thing. Now you're gonna have to find a third baseman.
Right. But Machado's like Gio. They're platinum at third.
Right.
Right.
I would leave Machado at third.
Yeah. They're platinum.
He's a stud.
Yeah. No, Machado is platinum. That's when it's funny because I remember having a conversation with Andre when Machado signed them. I said he said they're bringing Tatis up. I said Tatis gonna be short. Machado's gonna play third. He said, nah, Machado's playing short. I said Machado's gonna play third, bro. I said Tatis is their future. He's gonna go to short, and Machado's at third. Machado's platinum at third, and sure enough, that was the move they made.
So,
but speaking of shortstops,
CJ Abrams, I don't know who he is. To be honest,
I have no idea either.
Yeah,
I remember they had like an Asian dude too. I remember was he a left fielder or shortstop? Because I remember he ran into the outfielder. What was the guy's name? The left fielder. That used to play with the Cardinals. What was the guy's name?
Is Myers on that team, San Diego?
He was on that team, but I think they traded him for some reason. That's how they put Tatis in the outfield. I believe they traded him.
Yeah, because he was a right fielder, right?
Right.
So you see, like he said, Abrams is a mega prospect.
Short.
All right. Well, you see, depending on the situation, that's what they did, right? So maybe they said, hey, Fernando, we got a shortstop that's a stud. Let him go there and you play the outfield. He's probably a team player. All right, fuck it. Go ahead. Who knows?
Like I said, speaking of shortstop, I want to transition into this.
Go ahead.
A boy, Derek Jeter. So he resigns as CEO with the Marlins today. You had refresh my memory with his name again.
I had
on the show.
I had interviewed a former president of the Marlins, and we have to say, well, he was with Florida/Miami Marlins. His name is David Sampson. He was the former president. His stepfather was Jeffrey Laura, something like that.
The owner.
Yeah, the owner.
Right.
So they
gets hated on a lot. I don't know if you know, like people don't like him.
Who? Sampson?
Jeffrey Laura.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Before that, they were working with the Montreal Expos organization. Okay. So his stepfather asked David and said, hey, you think we should buy the team? It's $153 million back in 2002. And he was like, are you kidding me? Hell yeah. Jump on it. Right? They bought the team in 2002. They won the World Series 2003. You got to give them props.
Right.
And
the fire sale after that.
Right. But what happened was that usually when a new president comes in, new owners, they clean house. When I say clean house, like, oh, you know what? Let me get rid of this guy, let's clean this, whatever, right?
Right.
But when Andre Dawson and Tony Perez, two baseball Hall of Famers.
What's up, Dom? What's up, Egg Roll?
He asked actually, Sampson interviewed Dawson and Tony Perez and said, hey, how much you make a year here? Like 75 G's. He's like, all right, you're still with us. But they're big names, man.
Right.
Yeah. But what Jeter did, and this is what people don't know, and I'll share it, and you guys could watch the interview on my video podcast, The Eddie Mata Show. David Sampson. It's a great interview at Sully, right? He opened up about everything.
Definitely. He actually kind of predicted what happened today.
Yeah, he actually, he predicted this in October. He said Jeter will be gone soon. Trust me. And he said that Jeter is one of the best players out there. One of the worst front office people. And it's true, Sully. You look at Cashman. He started with the Yankees in the late 80s as an intern.
I don't know if I could say that. I love Jeter, right? I love Jeter, the player.
Yeah.
However, the Marlins farm system and their young pitching and the stuff he's done, I think that he's done a great job there. They haven't resulted in wins, in my opinion. I think he's building what he was doing was building exactly to, now maybe it was time to spend a little money, things like that. Maybe that's why there was the disconnect there where he's like, oh, they don't want to spend now because you have some farm players that you could also trade, right? Because the Yankees did it for years. Not too many guys make it call up from the Yankees. They always trade them.
Right.
So, in my opinion, I think the results of the wins, no. Marlins, they got the short year. They did well. They made the play, whatever, the wild card thing. But I think he's built in the right direction for the Marlins. That's just me. I think their prospects, they got a young kid, like 18 years old. I forgot his name. He's a beast, like killed in single A last year. Alcanzar, what's the other guy that's in the pro? Like they got
that pitcher is a stud, right?
Alamanza, and they got stud after stud on that Marlins team, bullpen and all that. But they're just, they're not household names, and they're trade bait probably. And you got to spend, that's the formula, right? As Yankees did it those years with Jeter. They spend on free agency,
but
they had their core.
Man. He's cheap,
but
he's cheap. How can you offer Andre Dawson and Tony Perez and tell them, okay, you know what? If you want to stick with the Marlins, I'll give you $25,000 each. You can't go in the clubhouse. You do appearances here and there. You're talking to 2 Hall of Famers right there. How can you do that? So anyone affiliated with David Sampson, Jeter got rid of.
Right.
And then
it was like the culture. He's trying to remove the culture from the floor.
And fans don't give 2 shits about that. They want to win. That's all they care about, right? Jeter's the face, but what can he do? He can't.
I had it actually. It's funny you said that because Hector earlier in Facebook, I had said something about it was one of my posts, and I said that Tyson, Ewing, Clemente, like all the guys were kind of my idols, heroes going. So he said, Tyson was a rapist and Ewing never got the job done. I said, yeah, and he's a Met fan. I said, and your 86 Mets were all cool kids. Did you care? No, they won. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
So that's all the bottom line fans care about is the win.
But what people don't realize is say, oh well, he made an investment. Jeter only put $25 million into the investment. There's a lot of investors. The main guy, his name is Bruce Sherman. He put in $500 million.
Right.
He's actually a kid from Queens. Not a kid, but I'm just saying.
Right. Guy from Queens.
So you have a lot of investors in it. But then what people don't know, with what David Sampson said, is that Jeter made his $25 million back because he was getting money from the Marlins, $5 million a year as an employee the past 5 years. So if you total that 5 years, he got his money back. No,
for sure. No, he definitely got. And I don't think he's hurting for money anyway. I'm sure he has a lot of other stuff he's involved with, and he has the our guy working on the documentary coming out soon, the captain, right? So Randy.
What we're going to talk about? Jeter's so private. What do fans want to see? That we saw the championships. We want to see how'd you party, where'd you go out. That's what's going to make it interesting with ESPN 30 for 30. But if he's going to just talk about, I have a feeling what Jeter's going to open up about is that him and Cashman
beefed.
They beefed. I think that's the main subject right there.
Now, is it something where the Yankees get him on board with them? Jeter going over there now, or that's not right? Because Cashman and him, they don't get along.
I think if Cashman leaves, I think Jeter will be like
that. Would be the move, right?
Yeah, that would be the move,
right?
Yeah.
And
not as a GM, he'll be somewhere in the front office. But Sully, remember, man, these fucking general managers, they put in 20 years before they become the head general manager.
Right.
You were in the organization. What did Jeter do? Did he pay his dues as a fucking front office guy?
No. But that's like Michael Jordan with the Hornets. How bad have they been for years?
Exactly. You don't know what you do. You're not a businessman. Listen, if he went to University of Michigan, all right, got his business degree, okay, paid his dues at a minor league team, worked his way up, then yeah. You know what? He's paying his dues. But, you got a free ticket right to the front office, gangster seats in the suites. All right, I'm Derek Jeter.
Well, most great players, right, Look at LeBron. He's struggling now with the team he built with the Lakers.
Right.
Jordan has struggled for many years. So a lot of those great players, there's not too many great coaches either, right?
No,
The
but
first few that were
remember,
great players that were great coaches.
yeah, like you said, like the best players, they cannot coach. They can't coach.
Because they expect you to be like them.
Exactly. There's no one that could be like Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson.
That's why I never coached, guys. I never coached because I was the best. Yo. What do you think about the strike? You think it's gonna be over?
Sully, it doesn't look good, man.
I know.
It doesn't look good. I think I listened to Mad Dog on Sirius XM, here and there because he's a baseball fanatic. And he said, man, they might not even start until May.
You know what though?
But here's another guy. Tony the Tiger Clark, right? Most of the players union, right? Most of them are lawyers. He's not a lawyer. He's a great guy. Sounds intelligent, but he don't know, man.
Right. Yeah, it's to me, I honestly think it's more. I think this is something that it's systematically they're looking at. I think COVID, right, the shortened season.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is all a ploy of starting in May. Maybe from now on, just pushing it back because now they're done with NBA pretty much. You know what I mean? I think they liked that they were kind of like the only show in town, right? So I think it's all systematically something that they're just trying to do. And maybe the owners are probably like, yeah, we don't make a lot of money in April anyway. It's cold out still. Fans are not coming. And then push it back to May. They should shorten the season. Like I said, make a fucking World Baseball Classic every 2 or 3 years. Do something different like that. But, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, man. I mean, traditionally you want 162 games. That's what you want, But look, Yankee fans, diehard Yankee fans, they show up. Not that packed the month of April, right. But, we look, what are we looking for as diehard baseball fans, right? Right after March Madness, that's it, man. Yes, it's opening day. There's nothing better than the feeling of opening day. It's better than kickoff. It's better than NBA opening night. Opening day is something like, oh, man, it just gives you that, yes, baseball's back. You got that feeling of father, son. That's the best feeling, man. Now it's like opening day in May.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Spring training in April.
Right.
That's how things, I'm telling you, man, it's something. I don't know. We'll see. They could, it could be like Hector said, more money, more games from TV. And, but it's just too long of a season. Guys get hurt too much. I think they will. They will look to do something. And again, maybe they put a salary cap. Maybe they do something like that to try to even out those playing fields. But
they had meetings for like 15 minutes and it's done. They propose something. Nah, see ya. Goodbye.
Right.
There's not meetings for like 2-3 hours that they go back and forth.
Right.
There's 10-1 disagreement. 10-1, Sully.
Right.
I could see 5-4. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sorry, 9-1. Like, no, sorry.
Right. Yeah. Nah. And the thing is, what's going to be great when they finish, and then that frenzy of free agent signings and all that, that's going to be fun because now we're going to be like, oh, this guy went here, this guy went there, we got this guy. Like, what are the Yankees going to do? Are you signing the stopgap till Volpe gets here? Are you, like, what are we doing?
The guy that I would love to sign, Sully, I love Freddie Freeman, man. I'll give him $350.
I heard his name a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, that guy is perfect for Yankee Stadium. And how many guys hit 300 in the big leagues now?
No, I like Freddie Freeman, but I like Gallo too because he used to hit Oppo, and then when he went to Yankees, he just started fucking pulling everything and popping up and missing it.
Yeah, but is he the one that's bitching about, they should ban the shift?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so then start hitting to the fucking opposite field. They're gonna.
But he used to. That's what's crazy. When I used to watch him in Texas, he used to hit that way. Like, I don't understand. But I love Didi. To me, Didi was perfect.
Hector says Freeman is 31. It's a dumb signing. You're telling me you could give him 7 years, all right? And in the last 3 years, he'll be a DH like Edgar Martinez. You telling me you wouldn't give him that contract, a 7-year contract?
Well, it's going to be the Yankees or the Braves. I don't see anybody else
I don't see
probably.
the Braves. I think the Braves are saving it for Acuna Jr. He's going to want a lot of money later on.
Didn't they pay those guys already? Both of them? Like, didn't they
Did
give
they?
them early contracts?
I don't know.
Oh, just Albies. I know they gave one of them. I know Albies got paid for sure. And I was like, wow. Like, when you look at that contract, it's going to be horrible. He wants 9 years, Freeman, to go to 40 to 40. What do you do with Judge? Is Judge gone, Eddie?
Oh man, that's crazy. You know,
No.
I love, but man, but so let's be prospectively, right? If you think about it, if I'm Cashman and you're Aaron Judge's agent, and you know, I want this amount of money, and I'm like, yo, your boy gets hurt, man. How am I going to take a risk by investing that money?
I know. It's tough. It's like,
tough.
you know, we want him here. I mean, he kind of was healthy last year. You know, Stanton's kind of starting to play like Stanton. You know, he's kind of like, which I said for years also, put him in the fucking outfield. He's getting hurt anyway. If you put him in the outfield and he gets hurt, who cares? You know what I mean?
Right.
But he's now, you know, but he had his best. Some guys can't DH. Some guys can't just sit in the, you know, they got to be in the game.
Right.
And
Well, you called that. You told me 2 years ago. I'm like, yo, this guy needs to be on the field. I'm like, I kind of had doubts. I'm like, I don't know, Sully, you might get hurt on the field too. But then you and I know the game. Usually when you hit like shit and you're a DH, you go back in the dugout, you're thinking about that pass. You're like, what the
in
fuck?
your head, dude. That's
in your
and you're
head.
not playing the field. You're
Right.
thinking
At
about
least,
that all the
yeah.
time.
At least on the field, you can make a nice play or a nice throw, gun somebody out. That makes you feel good. You're like, all right, you know what? I'm going to come back tomorrow to the park. I'm going to be all ready. And then boom. The next thing you know,
And he has a pretty good arm where he could throw guys out. You know, he could help you in other ways. Put him in short right field over there in Yankee Stadium. Right. I was always like, put him on the field. He ain't hitting. Put him on the field. Let's see what happens. Yeah. And you know, it works. So let's see. Hopefully they do that. But it's just hard to have him Judge, you know, like those guys, big rumbling guys like that, you know. And he also clogged the DH spot. You know, you need, you know, Sanchez to DH. You need these other guys to DH. Sanchez is a nightmare catching, you know. So, you know, I just got to, you know, we got to see. I would love Didi back. Didi to me was like, you know, the perfect guy after Jeter. He kind of like, you know, he loved it. He was clutch. You know, he was all about the Yankees.
A lot of energy.
Yeah, energy, great energy. You know, have fun. And, you know, we just got to pitch better. See what happens. And
yeah, but Sully, how many times I keep telling you, October baseball, 2-out hits, the Yankees fucking suck with that.
Yeah.
Forget the guerrilla baseball, man. We grew up with the dynasty teams. Those guys were hitting singles and doubles with 2 outs from men on base.
And just watch the teams that win, like, you know, like Mookie Betts, like guys like that. Like those guys are just like shoring up, hit the ball to right field, you know, do the little things. You know, Mookie Betts, I remember a game, he was like 0 for 3. But he walked and he like had like 2 assists in the outfield and a stolen base. You know, he just helps you in any way. Like he's a winner. You know.
And you know what? I can't look. A lot of people blaming Aaron Boone. Okay, why would you fire him? Who's out there that could take over right now? Look at the market right now.
To me, if you're running the team by the paper, it doesn't matter who you bring. If a manager's not managing, it doesn't matter who you bring.
But
me and you can run it. If we're doing it off a script, anybody can run the team.
But Sully, who's managing it right now? Think about it. Is Boone really managing it?
No.
Who's managing it? You got some fucking Harvard Yale kid with these analytics, because I know the Yankees, they hired him in 2009. They won the World Series. Oh, yeah, he's going to be the guy. Listen, I talked to Jack McDowell 3 weeks ago. You can't predict what these players could do, man. The guy could be going through a divorce the night before. Something could happen, man.
You know, it's funny. NFL now is starting to be analytically driven, right? NBA. I mean, and listen to me, stats are good. Yeah, we want information, of course, but it can't be the end all be all. And I've always said that it can't be the end all be all. The guy was going for even the Bengals coach in the Super Bowl, bro. This is not the regular season. You punt that ball. Your defense is playing good. No, the analytics say to go for it on your own 49-yard line. No, bro. This is the Super Bowl. Punt that shit. Maybe you got a safety on them or something. You know what I mean?
But also, you got to go with your gut, too, Sully. Go with your gut, man.
Yeah, you can't go by the numbers only. Listen, like you said, you know, this guy had a stomach virus last night. Yeah, the number says great, but I don't think I'm going to play him. Or he might play. You know what? He's not thinking like Jordan, the flu game. Just let him go. You know what I mean? Like, like to me, it can be end all be all with statistics. Yeah, they help us. They put us in the right place, but they can't be like, no, I can't. I can't let this guy face. He got a 2-hitter, but I can't let him go around the third time because they're
That's so
gonna,
stupid.
you know.
Sully, Jack McDowell's stats in 1991. Listen to this shit. He had 17 wins, 15 were complete games. 15. Yeah. Right now, if you got a big leaguer that could do 2 to 3 a year, you're a superstar.
I saw something the other day with like Nolan Ryan or David Costa, like 190 something, 170 something in pitches. I was like, you'll never see that again.
Hell no, man, never.
And there was another thing I saw too. The guy was it dry? One of those pitchers in the Dodgers back then, and he was like, he's throwing 91. Like this guy's throwing gas today, and I'm like 91. That's like that's like pus nowadays in the MLB.
If you watch classic baseball games in the 90s and guys are throwing 92, they're considered like superstars.
Yeah,
right?
like explosive.
But then you had Maddox 88 to 91, and most of the time was 88, but that ball never went down the middle, Sully.
Never.
Always moved.
I never forget my coach, Ray Birmingham, in New Mexico, was telling he went to a clinic when Greg Maddox, or spring training, I forgot what it was. And he was like, the catcher was like talking as Maddox threw, like he was talking. And he just kept hitting, like he would hit the glove every time, like not paying attention to Maddox. He would just put the glove, talk, bang. And I was like, wow, that guy was incredible, man.
Sorry, but don't you think right now in baseball, they're making these hitters think too much, man? Just too much.
I think the launch angle, I think that's all like it's just trash. Like not everyone's the same hitter.
Right.
It's like you want me to you want everyone to throw 99, 100. Not everyone's that guy. Like there might be a finesse guy, right? I play softball. Some of the best pitchers are just like knuckleball guys. They don't throw hard at this. The ball moves, the ball dances. Those guys are hard to hit. I think the baseball is like the shifting and all that. I don't care, but like people that say you stop the shift, I think that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of the game. That's strategy, right?
No, you're trying to get them out. I get it.
You could put 4 outfielders if you want.
Right.
You've seen guys do that. Leave a hole. Okay. When they pitch you outside, you slap the ball in that hole.
And I guarantee if a guy would slap the ball to the other side, they would stop the shift and then go back to play him straight up. Guarantee it.
But they're not, they tell them we don't pay you to do that. We want you to hit the ball out. So that's what they want. They want home runs and strikeouts. And it goes back to the analytics.
Yep.
A ground ball could be a double play and a strikeout gets the next guy up. But, anyway,
right.
we'll save those.
A stolen base could be, that could be an out. But it's also, you got a chance, a man in scoring position, guy with wheels to steal second.
Yep. Yeah, it's, and that's another thing. I was watching these kids in the cage and the coach was like having the bunt. And I was just like, what's that? They still do that. And I was like, MLB, like these guys don't, and they see that. They're probably like, what is that bunt thing? Oh, like, yeah, that's a big part of the game. I remember we go to those tournaments, right? We play those teams from like Wisconsin or Kansas, and they fucking all bunted. The 4-hitter would come up and bunt, and we're like, Jesus Christ. Like, like these guys are killing us. Like we're little, death by 1,000 cuts, right?
Yeah.
But
you see college World Series, number 3, 4-hitter bunting, man. They do whatever they can to win.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But anyway, Eddie, let everybody know again. I had a good time today. Let everybody know. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let them know your channel again, and we'll sign out of here.
If you guys want classic stories and behind the scenes and what strip joints they go to, I mean, it's I love interviewing actors. I love interviewing athletes. I think they both have a lot in common. Actors, we get rejected 98% of the time. Athletes, we don't know what's going to happen. And here's one thing, Sully, I want to talk about this before we go.
Yeah. Hold on. We got sexual chocolate in the building. Terry McFarland. Blackula. What up, kid?
Guy would never ages, man. Never ages.
Speaking of good pitching,
Yeah,
I remember the first time I faced Terry, I got a hit. I started talking shit. It was in McCarran Park. I started talking shit. I just came back from college or something. He was, I think, with the Dodgers, just come back from the Dodgers. And he was like, oh, word. You know, Terry don't talk like, oh, word. He threw me the fucking splitty next time, the fucking Hoffman changeup shit. I was like, okay. It was like, I stay quiet.
I think Hoffman taught him how to throw the changeup.
I think he taught Hoffman, but
yeah.
Terry, you could answer that. But God, you were saying something that you wanted to say.
I was saying, like, you know, with the player's salary, especially a guy that makes minimum wage, $585,000 a year. I'm telling you right now, people don't realize this. I'm sure Terry knows about this. You know that all athletes have to pay taxes in every city they play in. You know that, right?
Yep.
Because they're employed there. So for 3 days, the Yankees have to pay the Boston taxes, right? For 3 days, they go to Kansas City. They got to pay their taxes, right? So you got 33% out of 585,000. That's gone. Okay. You got 10% of the agent fee. Then you got a fee. Where you living? You're living in New York, right? At least $5,000 to $10,000 a month rent. But then what happens if that kid gets demoted? Then what?
Right.
It's so hard to manage money, especially those guys. Now, for the guys that are making 20, 30 million a year, well, they don't give a shit. And plus, baseball players only get paid during the season. Off season, they don't get paid. There's no check.
Yeah, and even those guys that make the big money, where do they go? Florida, you know, like especially they go to those places. Okay, there's no state tax. I'm going there.
Yeah, they reside there. They're like, oh, no state taxes. All right, I'm living here.
Yeah.
So for people saying, oh, baseball players, athletes, they make a lot of money. Listen, exclude the guys that are making 10, 20, 30 million a year. I'm talking about guys that are just making minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of money you're giving up.
Yeah. And that's what those, like the union, like those guys in the lockouts, again, we're gonna go back, they need to fight for those guys, right? They need to fight for the future. And about, like, that was some of the biggest things, like when I in the bus, like the union, I'm like, how do you guys allow this? Like, the future of these workers is trash. You know what I mean? Like these tiers, these retirement tiers, but it's like, fuck it, we getting ours now, and the hell with everybody else later.
Yeah,
But
so like, back to my channel, guys. If we fund baseball and they're paying taxes in every state, yes, they are paying taxes in every state. Every athlete does that because they are employed there.
Let me
go ahead
real quick. Canada, the teams like Toronto Raptors and the Blue Jays, they pay United States and Canadian taxes, guys. Just to let you know about that one.
Yeah. So yeah, back to my channel, guys. I know Sully's trying to promote it. Thank you so much for that. It's called The Eddie Mata Show. It's a video podcast. I interview actors and athletes. You can find it on YouTube, Facebook page. I don't have an audio podcast. You know how people say when it's podcast, it's just audio only. Mine's more video. I have no time for that shit. I do everything on my own, just like you do everything on your own, your show too. You know, you book the talent. You try to do the editing. You're like, what the fuck? How do you do this shit? You know what I mean?
Mr. A handles that part. I'm booking the talent part.
Right. So like, it's tough, but I'm doing it because I have a scripted show that I have a meeting with Netflix called Who the Hell is Eddie Mata? Because people are asking like, yo, who is this guy? How you getting all these stars? Who are you? I'm like, I'm a nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I did it. It's like a spinoff.
Right. No doubt.
But Sully, I really enjoy this, man. This is a lot of fun. You want to do this again? Hit me up if I'm available.
No, for sure. We'll do it. We'll do it like when MLB starts up or whatever. We'll see some. Once or free agent frenzy, maybe the free agent frenzy song, right?
Yeah. But I'm gonna be in West Palm Beach this weekend, so I can't be on next Monday. So
say good night to the bad guy.
All right, go get your fucking shine box.
Oh,
all right?
Shit. All right. Leave him here, that piece of shit.
All right, Eddie. Thank you again, bro. All right. What do you do here?
You just fucking ended.
The clock ran out of time. This concludes another episode of Just a Tip. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and share the channel for more episodes on all podcast platforms.
Have a good night, guys.